Hello everybody, this is Lodge, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my first impressions with the Scarlet Nexus Demo. Now, I have not heard too much about this game other than the occasional times it would appear on like the Xbox news thing, like Xbox's Twitter would have a thing on it or something to show that it was like an upcoming game, and it looked pretty interesting to me. Then I saw it had a free demo on the Xbox store, and I think it's also on the PlayStation store, so if you have like a PlayStation 5 or a 4, you can still get this. And I decided to play through it, and here are my thoughts about the game. Alright, so you launch the demo, and once it finishes loading, you get to see the title screen, which I think is very pretty. Then after choosing some settings, you get to choose which main character you want to play as. You get to choose between Cassane Randall, whose gameplay seems to be more long range, and apparently has an adopted sister that probably plays into the story of the main game in some way. I almost straight up chose her because in my Phantasy Star Online video I went with like the female option, and then I saw that she was long range and I did not think that would be as fun to play as the short range option. And that option would be Yuito Sumeragi. And his attacks, he attacks with like a sword at close range, and apparently he's got some like a kind heart or something. Yeah, in this demo it really doesn't explain the characters all that much. More just like jumping into the first mission and getting used to like the overall gameplay that you'll probably be playing in the main game. Oh, and he has like psychokinesis abilities, which sounds pretty cool. But anyway, I chose him basically because of the short range attacks. So I choose him and he stands up to show that he's gonna play the game or something, I don't know. And now I jump into the tutorial to understand what I can do in this game. The controls are pretty much what you'd expect from an action hack and slash game. You got like a light attack and a strong attack that you could use for some combos. Though from this point in the game, there really only seems to be like one combo, which is like XXX. And you can add in the occasional Y to do like a cool move. Though something cool that you can do is if you press X and A at like the same time, you do a cool rising slash, which was fun to do. You can also throw objects that are around you at enemies, and it's pretty fun to do with your psychokinesis. Just to throw objects as like a finishing attack kind of thing to use. Overall, the combat from Yuito is pretty fun to do, though I just wish there were more combos to make the gameplay a little more interesting and not just the same, like doing the exact same XXX again. But in the main game, this could very well be something you have to unlock. Okay, and after you beat all those enemies in the tutorial, you are thrown into the actual game where you see this world for the first time. And I gotta say, this art style and choice of colors really reminds me of Astral Chain. All like the light reds and stuff just really give me that vibe of that game, which is good with me because I like that game. Well, once you can actually control your character again, you walk and there are these two other characters following you. I'm not sure this is exactly how the game starts because it seems kind of weird that they just be like following you. And I would assume the demo would have been where the game actually starts, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter all that much. The game's fun. So you walk up to the rest of your group and you get shown like this cutscene, which basically is just like some character portraits talking, which is an interesting take other than just like showing the in-game models talking. Oh, you can also shake the screen as if it was the Super Smash Bros. Character select screen, and I did that a lot when I first realized that, so yeah. Here we see all the characters you're going to be with throughout probably the entire game, and they explain what you gotta do for this one mission. And here is probably what you're going to be doing for basically the entire game, walking around these different areas, picking up items, and finding these monsters called...
Try to take down any others along the way.
And why is it in every one of these first time playing videos, the name of the main enemies are just so lackluster to me? Like, others? I don't know, I feel like they should have wanted something cooler. But oh well. Anyway, we continue on our way and we see how to fight with a party of characters. And the cool thing about this game is that you can use these other characters like powers to do stuff. So I guess like every person or something in this world has like a cool power. And you can do such as light your sword on fire to burn an enemy, making yourself invulnerable to attacks, being able to see invisible enemies, or even teleporting through fences. The thing everybody wants to do in their life. This has the possibility to add a lot to the gameplay of the main game if done right. And if you were able to kill one of these enemies with these abilities, you can do a special finisher move. This is cool like the first couple times, but since it's like the same animation for the finisher move, it can get old as you do it over and over again. And occasionally you can get a button prompt to do like a team move with the other characters. I don't know, it just seems like you're turning into like a character or something. I don't know really how it works, I just go with it. And after fighting a lot of enemies and getting lost a few times in the alleys, you finally make it to the first mini-boss of the game. This one is pretty interesting since you have a shield which basically makes all the attacks like, invulnerable to the enemy. But if you're able to break it, you're able to see like the enemy's weak point, and that's pretty cool. And this enemy is also pretty cool because you can use one of your partner's abilities to be invulnerable, and it's just like showing that how it's going to be useful. Oh, and this enemy is also pretty cool because much like a game like Devil May Cry, a boss enemy can become a regular enemy at any time. And I think that's cool, showing how much you're able to grow. As you continue on, you find these enemies that make you use like the true sight ability or whatever to see the enemies. And honestly, this one seems more like a gimmick that you use once to find them and you hit them. And you can even like kind of see them, like, you know, they have that invisible effect where it's like you can clearly see where they are. But oh well. And as you go on to like a construction site type thing, and once again, I feel like this could totally fit as a level in Astral Chain. And you fight more and more of these regular enemies and using some of those special finishing moves with your psychokinesis, such as pressing a huge crate on an enemy. We finally get to the final objective of this level. And this huge other appeared. And I still do not like that name. It sounds so lame. But oh well. And after maneuvering around the boss and dropping these huge tubes on him and then using the oil from him to light him on fire with our flame attack, we finally defeat the other. And this boss did not take a whole lot of strategy to defeat, but it was nice to see at least like a little bit needed to do a lot of damage. And it just wasn't like hacking away the boss's health till it was at 0. And I feel like at the end of the game, they could really build on this, but I think it's a good start. Let us know that, hey, if you're able to use these special attacks, you're going to get a whole lot more damage, and then the game's going to be a lot more fun. Finally, after we won, we get another one of those cutscenes where it's kind of like a comic book. And honestly, this one was super weird to me because it seemed like there should be a lot of action going on, but these still images didn't give me that action feel until it turns into an actual cutscene for like a second, which is cool. I just am more interested in these actual cutscenes than the slideshows that it seems like the main game's going for. Anyway, after we take down that boss, a lot of drone-like cameras come out of nowhere and start acting like a news team where the guys are seen as heroes. It's kind of interesting, but I'm not sure how much it'll be present in the full game. Then the demo is basically over where they play an actual band with real-life people. And it's kind of like an anime opening. They're like cutting back and forth through the real band and then the gameplay. I'm not going to show it because I might get taken down for copyright, but it's not really jarring, but it's just interesting to see. And with that was the end of the demo. It was pretty good and kind of made me want to play more, but I'm not exactly how deep the combat is going to be that will keep me playing more. Like after the demo I felt like, oh, this is probably as deep as it could get, but honestly, it could go way deeper. There was a whole ton of menus that I did not care to read through. And there's also a whole nother character that I didn't even play, who could also add so much more to the gameplay. And the world was pretty cool, and a lot that could possibly happen. And so, yeah. I think that this could be an interesting game with a cool story, if it's done right. And if you want to play this game, I really recommend getting the demo, since it's free. And it'll probably show you what you're going to be playing through, gameplay wise. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Goodbye.